All right, let's talk about something that can completely change the game for you on camera. We're not just talking about communication as some kind of soft skill. No, we're turning it into a hard science. We're going to break down how you can become way more magnetic, way more memorable, and not in a few years, but in the next few minutes.
I mean, let's be real. This is the goal, isn't it? If you're creating videos, this is the holy grail. You want to make content that's so good, so compelling, that people are just completely hooked. But how do you actually do that?
You know, so many of us get obsessed with gear. We think, if I just had that new camera, that expensive lens, then my videos would be amazing. But that's not it. You could have the best setup in the world, but if your message doesn't connect, none of it matters. The real secret weapon isn't your gear, it's you. It's your delivery.
So here's the cool part. What if I told you there's an actual playbook for this? A system based on how the human brain is literally wired to listen and pay attention. Well, there is. And today, we're going to walk through that exact playbook, step by step.
Okay, first things first. Before we can communicate effectively, we have to understand the machine we're talking to, the human brain. And let me tell you, it's got some really specific and kind of weird rules for paying attention.
Get this, 200 milliseconds. That is literally faster than you can blink. Scientists call it the neuroecho effect. And what it means is that your viewer's brain doesn't just hear you, it mirrors you. So if you're feeling anxious or tense on camera, guess what? They feel tense too. But if you're calm, confident, and grounded, they feel that as well.
And this quote just nails the idea. Imagine you're about to hit record and you're feeling a little insecure. Your audience will pick up on that vibe instantly. But if you can channel this energy, this calm authority, even through a screen, your audience will feel it. You project that grounded confidence, and they will absolutely mirror it right back.
So what's rule number 2 of the brain? It gets bored really easily. This is something called the orienting response. Our brains are hardwired to notice anything new, anything surprising or unexpected. Logic comes second. This is precisely why the first 5 seconds of your YouTube video are everything. You have to break the pattern. Disrupt their endless scroll with a surprising question or a bold claim to jolt their brain into paying attention.
All right, so now that we know how to actually hook the brain, let's get into the what. What do we say? The specific words you choose and how you structure them, well, it's absolutely critical.
Now, this next one might feel a little counterintuitive, but it is so important. Using big, complex, jargon-filled words doesn't actually make you sound smart. In fact, research shows it does the opposite. It makes listeners think you're insecure or maybe even trying to hide something. Simple, clear language, that's what gets rated as a sign of high intelligence and trustworthiness. True confidence is clarity. Clarity is the real flag.
Just look at that number, 22 times. Let that sink in for a second. According to research from Stanford, that is how much more memorable a story is compared to just a list of facts. It's a staggering difference, and there's a really good reason why it works.
See, stories light up the sensory parts of our brain. When you tell a compelling story, your listener isn't just hearing data points, they're actually living it with you. You could tell your kid 100 times, the stove is hot, or you could tell them the one story about the sharp pain you felt, the sizzle you heard. Which lesson do you think is going to stick?
Okay, this one is pretty wild. It's called the processing fluency effect. Basically, a Princeton study found that if our brains can process a phrase easily, if it has a nice rhythm to it, we subconsciously judge it as being more true. In our brains, ease equals truth.
Just listen to how these sound. Move slow to move fast. You repeat what you don't repair. They just feel like deep wisdom, don't they? That rhythm makes them feel true. If you can weave these kinds of punchy, rhythmic phrases into your YouTube scripts, your message becomes incredibly sticky and persuasive.
All right, here's a super simple tactical swap that will immediately boost your authority on camera. Stop saying, "I think." It just screams low confidence and frames your point as nothing more than a personal opinion. Instead, try saying, "I've observed." It implies that your statement is backed by data, by experience.
And it's not just a feeling, the data shows it works. Statements framed as observations are seen as a whopping 40% more credible than the exact same point framed as an opinion. It's such a tiny change in wording, but it has a massive impact on how much authority you project.
Okay, so we've got the brain science down, we've got the right words, but the final piece of this puzzle is how you actually deliver those words. Your voice, your body language, these are the unseen signals that carry your entire message.
This is probably the most mind-blowing idea we're going to talk about. It's called vocal entrainment. Get this, people's heartbeats will literally subconsciously speed up or slow down to match the rhythm of your voice. So, if you're speaking in a rushed, anxious tone, you are literally making your audience feel anxious. But a steady, calm, decisive rhythm, that actually calms their nervous system down. Your voice is a remote control for their body.
Our brains are not built to process long, continuous streams of information. It's just not how we work. In fact, MIT researchers found that after about 12 seconds of someone talking without a pause, our attention just plummets. This is the entire principle behind TikTok. So, when you're recording, speak in short sprints, 5 to 10-second chunks, and then pause. It makes your message so much easier for people to digest and remember.
And finally, let's talk about your hands. Rule number 1, don't hide them. From a primal caveman brain perspective, hidden hands trigger a fear response. We think you might be hiding a weapon. So gesture. Use open palms to signal trust and safety. And here's a pro tip. Studies show that gesturing right before you speak actually helps your brain form clearer, more structured thoughts.
So, we've covered a ton of science. Now, let's put it all together. I want to give you one simple, powerful technique you can use in your very next YouTube video to make any key point land with maximum impact.
It's called the 3-2-1 trick. It's so easy. First, before you make your big point, you pause for 3 full seconds. That silence acts like a pattern interrupt. It grabs their attention. Second, you make only 2 points. Why 2? Because the brain's working memory is basically built to handle about 2 things at once. And third, you end with 1 direct question. That pulls them out of passive listening and right back into a conversation with you.
So look, here's the bottom line. Being a great magnetic communicator on camera isn't some magical gift you're either born with or you're not. It's a skill. It's a game of understanding the data and then just getting your reps in. It's learnable for anyone.
And that's it. That's the science of magnetic communication. So the question for you is, which one of these are you going to try? Are you going to use the 3-2-1 trick? Are you going to start speaking in sprints? Or maybe swap out "I think" for "I've observed"? Just pick one, try it in your next video, and watch what happens.